Imagine a weapon so deadly that just one explosion released 400 times more radiation than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Now imagine this wasn't an act of war, but a mistake made during a safety test. We are talking about an event that almost wiped out half of Europe and turned a bustling city into a ghost town forever. This isn't science fiction. This is the terrifying reality of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster.
Hello and welcome. If you're new here, welcome to Amazing 5.
Let's travel back to the height of the Cold War. The year is 1986. In the Soviet Union, there is a model city called Pripyat. It is a place of prestige, built specifically for the brilliant minds working at the nearby Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant. It has amusement parks, schools, and modern apartments. On the night of April 25th, the 50,000 residents of Pripyat go to sleep peacefully, unaware that just 3 kilometers away, a chain of events is beginning that will ensure they never sleep in their own beds again. Inside the control room of Reactor 4, the atmosphere is heavy with tension. A safety test has been scheduled, a test ironically designed to make the plant safer. But the conditions are all wrong. The test is being overseen by Anatoly Dyatlov, a man known for his rigid authority. Due to delays, the reactor has been running at low power for too long, making it dangerously unstable. The computer systems are practically screaming at the engineers to stop, but the order is given to proceed. To keep the reactor running for the test, the engineers make a fatal error. They pull out the control rods. These rods are the brakes of a nuclear reactor. They stop the reaction from spinning out of control. Safety protocols demand a minimum of 15 rods be inserted at all times. On this night, in a desperate bid to keep the power up, they leave only 8. They are essentially driving a race car at maximum speed at night, having cut their own brake lines. Suddenly, the power surges. It goes from a whisper to a roar in seconds. The gauge needles swing violently. Panic erupts in the control room. In a last-ditch effort to save their lives, an operator slams the emergency shutdown button, known as AZ5. This button is supposed to drop all the control rods back into the core and kill the reaction instantly. But here is the tragic twist, the secret design flaw that no one in that room understood. The control rods were made of boron, which slows the reaction, but their tips, the parts that enter the core first, were made of graphite. Graphite doesn't slow a nuclear reaction, it boosts it. So, when they pressed the button to stop the disaster, they actually triggered it. It was like trying to put out a fire by throwing a bucket of gasoline on it. At 1:23 a.m., the core couldn't take it anymore. A massive steam explosion blew the 1,000-ton concrete lid off the reactor as if it were a coin flipped into the air. The roof was torn open, and a beam of ionized blue light shot into the night sky. It looked beautiful, but it was pure death. The core was now open to the air, burning at twice the temperature of lava, pumping radioactive poison into the atmosphere. First responders rushed to the scene. These firefighters were brave men, but they had no idea what they were fighting. They saw a fire. They didn't see the invisible bullets of radiation tearing through their DNA. They picked up pieces of the reactor core, black blocks of graphite, with their bare hands, unaware that they were holding their own death warrants. Within hours, they fell ill. Within weeks, many were gone. But the nightmare wasn't over. Beneath the melting reactor lay a massive pool of water. If the molten nuclear lava burned through the floor and hit that water, it would cause a second, much larger steam explosion. Physicists calculated that this second blast could leave a large part of Europe uninhabitable for thousands of years. The world needed heroes, and it found them in 3 men, Alexei, Valery, and Boris. These 3 divers volunteered for what many called a suicide mission. They had to dive into the flooded radioactive basement of the plant to open the drain valves and empty the pool. Wading through pitch-black, toxic water, with the Geiger counters buzzing like angry hornets, they found the valves. With their hands trembling, they twisted them open. They succeeded. They saved millions of lives, though they risked their own to do it. 36 hours after the explosion, the evacuation order finally came. The people of Pripyat were told to pack for 3 days. They left their dinner on the tables, their pets in the yards, and their photos on the walls. They never returned. Today, if you look at the site, you will see a massive steel dome, an engineering marvel costing billions of dollars, sliding over the ruins of Reactor 4. It is a sarcophagus, a tomb designed to lock the beast inside for the next century. But around it, the city of Pripyat remains silent, a time capsule of 1986 where nature is slowly reclaiming the concrete. Chernobyl stands as a chilling reminder to humanity: we have mastered the power of the stars, but one moment of arrogance can turn that power into a darkness that lasts forever. Use arrow up and arrow down to select a turn, enter to jump to it, and escape to return to the chat.